So, what I'll do is I'll just take you through the steps. How about that? How about we just
great. That'd be great.
Real briefly. So, step one starts, and it seems simple, but oftentimes this is hard for us to tell our story.
Right.
Some ladies that were here for the month-long intensive, our Gangsta Grannies, said is the fluff that we say. So step one is chapter 17 starts with that, and it is the fact-telling. It's where we start the fact-telling. We don't do any analysis, any judgment, any criticism. We simply gather the facts. And so the first thing that you're prompted to do is think about a time where there was some emotional trigger. Any emotional trigger. I feel some kind of way. That works. And this works with positive and negative, but since we're talking about healing, we're going to work with things that prompted an uncomfortable emotion. The first thing that you need to know, and this is kind of a brief, we give you much more details in the book, and there's videos online that I give a much more expanded description, but just in 2 or 3 minutes, you're going to write down the facts, the narratives. I did some things and you did some things. Okay. We keep it in those vocabulary, no names, no nothing. And there's some reasons, but we don't need to go into that. I did this, you did this. This is what happened. Facts. Where was it? Who was it? What actually happened? And in the facts of what happened, we include your feelings. If you felt it, it's real. We encourage you to get a feeling wheel, a list of words, but we encourage you to list the emotions that this has prompted.
Okay, so I'm very visual, so I just want to ask you real quick. You see the journal?
Yeah.
You said it says name it right here.
The very first thing you do, give your story a title, because we're not talking about a 15-year span. We're talking about one incident at a time, because that's manageable. And I encourage you, I challenge you, and it says so in the instructions, try to put that in 6 words or less, because that makes you think specific. This is where if you think about something you want to heal and you write it in your journal, when you come back that evening or the next day or whenever you're making time to do healing work in your life, you have a reference point. You've given it a name that you can remember. So you take a situation, can you think of one? And
I believe I can, because I actually woke up thinking about it this morning, and you said 6 words or less.
6 words or less.
This is very, very personal, but I'm going to go with my dad was pronounced dead.
Okay.
So it's all about my grieving process.
Okay. All right.
My dad was pronounced dead.
Short, quick. This tells you one specific incident.
Okay.
And then the next thing is to simply write the story. No facts, no judgment, no analysis, no what you thought other people were thinking. And you have space right under that. And it says step 1 in page 1 of your actual journal. There's 4 journal pages that go with each cycle. So if you were going to tell this story, just the facts, just the story, not your whole life experience with your dad, can you narrow that down to a specific storyline?
Oh, that's going to be hard. If you say just the facts, just want some quick sentences, I guess. Right? Can I start with the date and the year?
Absolutely.
So
as much detail as you can.
I'll say September 2019 at 3:30 in the morning. I got a phone call from the doctor at the hospital. Okay. And then he told me my dad is dead. All I could think of is I said, at what time did he pass? Okay. All right, so I'm not going to list all of them here, but
just the fact, you notice that those were just the facts? It forces you to stop and say, if this was a movie narrative, what was happening in that life clip of my life? And then feelings. Can you think of any emotions just off the top of your head that came up then or that come up now when you think about it? I felt or I feel. And what are some words that you could use to describe?
The only word I could think of right now is empty. Do you have like a list or something of feelings that could help me to, because I can't think of any right now. I think that it happened so long ago. I'm thinking that I was empty when I got the phone call. I'm thinking that I was sad. I was overwhelmed.
Very good. That's a really good point. We encourage people to go online. Just Google it. Feeling wheel or feeling word lists.
Oh, wait a second. What is that again?
A feeling wheel or a feeling word list. Find one you like. There's some that are pretty. There's some that are in a circle. There's some that just have an alphabetized list of words. There's some that are grouped, angry type of words or uncomfortable words. Find one that works for you, because part of this is about building your emotional intelligence. Can you explain what you're feeling to yourself first? It's unweaving that tangle that trauma creates. So facts, and you gave some really good feeling words. I felt empty. I felt sad. I felt, and you go and describe that. And that is step one, framing it. What's the story? What's the story? And so that's the first step in the process. That's chapter 17.